like read the description, and it's like, what even am I doing here? And for some reason, like, I don't know how I did it. I've done it a couple times though. I've done it a couple times where I was just I it, on my screen, I was just like a little, and it was a still screen because there's just a very little window in the corner that I could see what I was recording at all. So I wasn't like looking at myself, and like didn't have anything. So I guess like it would be good if I had just any fucking entity on the wall that I could make eye contact with as I'm like trying to not look at the screen. Um yeah, so I'm experiencing pretty severe pre-seizure symptoms from being exposed to flat screen devices, especially to a lesser degree any screen, even old school 90s television and computer monitor, tube TVs, like even that at this point, to a degree, but a very severe degree with modern technology screens. And I just a few months ago, with the help and assistance of a friend of mine, figured out that LED lights, do it. So there is a lot of situations in the world where there's LED lighting, and I'm fuck, like right now I'm like fucking aware of the fucking LED situation and fucking headlights and shit, and just like thinking like, no, like I'm driving the hearse around the fucking block. Like I want to fucking drive the hearse. Like I want to fucking drive. Like no, like I'm gonna fucking learn how to drive again. Like I'm gonna fucking do that. Like this is not happening. There is not like a legitimate fucking seizure disorder like developing that I can't fucking drive and have my independence again. That is not fucking happening. That is not fucking happening. I'm just like fucking freaking the fuck out about that, because it's like, dude, like fucking their headlights. There's LED headlights. So like if I'm a passenger in a car, like it's better if I keep my eyes closed, and then it's like the flashing of the fucking like light, the sunlight through breaks in the trees and the buildings, like that'll fucking like do it. If I'm already like in, if the effect, if the pre-seizure symptoms are already in play and I'm already like, whoa, I'm taking so much damage, like I've taken damage, I cannot look at the screen, which is where I'm at now, is that I can't I can't fucking look at the screen. So like, am I still like, I think as long as I stay seated in this chair, I'll be okay. I've got my camera balanced on suitcases and like have this lovely backdrop. Like I'm doing good, right? And like this is not even what I was supposed to be talking about, but this is just live fucking streaming with Mindy. I don't know. Like I'm the fucking worst. Like I'm so scattered, and like I uh I have been scripting myself like through my life, like um that has been something that I just do. Like it's kind of a result of anxiety, because like I'm anticipating the experience that I'm about to have before I have it. And so like I'm just it's like I'm just like, well, there's a potential future that could be. It could go like that. I could say that like that. And there's a potential future that it could be. And like when you're doing these, like projecting your consciousness into the future, like in bouts of anxiety, and I say anxiety, but anxiety doesn't have the connotation of negativity when I use it, like anticipation, like excitement, like I mean, you just like you have to let it be like Christmas Eve, like all the time, like every night, like every time that that your consciousness tries to get away from you, projecting into the future. You've just got to be like, well, there's just so many wonderful ways that this could go. Like, all I know is that it's gonna be great. Like nothing fucking bad happens on Christmas. Christmas Eve, yes, I have fucking trauma from my upbringing from Christmas Eve, not from Christmas Day. Nothing fucking ever happened bad on Christmas Day. Like the only thing I can think of is like I was talking about how like my mom's been drunk driving all my life. Like she almost hit a dog, like a large dog ran across the street as we were going from my house to my grandma's house to do Christmas with my grandma because she didn't spend the night that year. And like, if I hadn't been paying attention and like screamed, and I don't like looking back, I don't remember if I put my hand on the wheel. I don't think I did. I think I touched my mom. I don't know, but like it's the only near death experience that I have on Christmas Day. And so like that's a really good, so that's like kind of like why I'm using that as an example, I guess, and why I'm telling you this is that like when I say like Christmas, it's not like, oh, I'm getting stuff, or even like the family like love or any of that. It's just there's no trauma. There's just no trauma on Christmas Day for me. And so, like if you're trying to like apply whatever I'm talking about doing, like is that what we're doing? I don't fucking know. I don't know what, like sometimes I feel like I'm just like screaming into the void and no one fucking cares and no one's paying attention. And no one is paying attention to me in this world that is very curated, succinct, scripted, branded. Like I am not a fucking like slick facade presentation, like polished fucking influencer. And I wouldn't want to be. Like I was trying to get like an intro and an outro down, like something that like if I had the ability to edit a video together in the most rudimentary way, I would have an intro and an outro to my video. But like I cannot even record a video to edit. All I can do is live stream until my battery runs out. And um yeah, so I was trying to have just like something that I did that was consistent, like just for like consistency, like familiarity. I mean, there's just like there's there like like mere exposure to like the repeated, it's brainwashing. I don't know, I'm gonna come out and say it, like fucking like advertising, marketing, all that shit. Like I'm really fucking super good at it. Like if I could participate at the level and actually utilize the technology, like I can't look at a then like I'm fucking like that is that's my strength. Like sales is my strength, and like marketing is, I'm fucking good at that. I'm just like so it's like it's really weird for me to be in this position. And yeah, so it's like I really pre-seizure, like a pre-seizure disorder, like is that, can that be a thing, like where you never have a seizure? And it's like, okay, well, one of the things that occurs, by the way, like when the like I don't know, like I'm trying it's just, I'm so fucking tired though already. Switching feels like having a seizure. Or like it feels like I'm switching while I'm having this seizure symptom. Like I just like fucking like fade, like nod, and 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 it feels like something like overcoming me. It feels like something changing. Like whatever I was doing, I switch into a different mode. And so I was just uh hadn't spoken before turning on the camera today. Like I was awake for maybe an hour journaling, using the restroom, getting my day started. I have to do like facial massaging to really get my sinuses cleared or something. It's wild that like it feels like a release in the sinuses, like pulling back on like the sides up here. Like I would not think that this makes pressure and inflammation here. Like how is these connected? I don't know things. And that's okay, you know? Like I saw a video. I mean, I the algorithm just like it if anybody was hanging on my every word, like the algorithm just is wonderful because it just I do so little on the internet. I am so focused on what I'm doing, like that it just delivers things to me. That's like, yeah, like everyone should know that. That's like, gosh, I guess everyone doesn't know that, huh? Like, or this video wouldn't exist. You know, things like, okay, like I saw a video and I've been talking about this like so long. Oh my god, like how many fucking like smoke-filled stoner fucking like drug like trap house. Like I fucking like and I'm like solid matter is absolutely an illusion. There is so much empty space between every particle. Nothing's touching. You're not touching that. It's not touching the floor. The only thing holding it together is frequency. And this is all just like a mass of bubbles. and once you connect with how immaterial the material world really is, that it's a wonder and a miracle that my hand doesn't pass through the chair, you know? Like it's like this feels solid. This is an illusion. Like it's like when you get down to it, like you're standing on the ground. Like you touch things. Like that's mind blowing, dude. Like you understand the science of that. Like you dig in and zoom in, and like that doesn't even make sense, you know? And um so realizing the fluidity and the frequency of the material world, it starts to feel less solid. And as you're, you know, like, oh my goodness, like there's this obstacle in my way. Well, like what if I didn't give any acknowledgement to the obstacle? What if I regarded that obstacle as absolutely imaginary and illusory as the world truly is? Like nothing is impossible. Nothing stands in the way. Like this is all like it's yeah, and like blowing people's minds with that. I don't know. It wasn't like a party trick. It's like it's nice to connect to somebody. Um you know, I wasn't doing it maliciously, but I was doing it intentionally. I was um like gravitating towards minds that were open. Like, you know, like fucking like drugs and alcohol just like kicks open the door, and it's like, oh well, you have now allowed me to enter your intimate dwelling here. And I mean, I was consciously planting seeds. I was consciously uh working to produce the result that I intended upon coming here, that I desire, that I expect. And like it's just like it's just unacceptable. It's just unacceptable if that I don't know. I mean, like people waking up. I'm talking about waking up. I'm talking about ascension. I'm talking about, you know, um that. And so like what is the deal with my existential crisis? Like how it's really interesting that at the same time that I can sit here and look at that, and it's been like, yes, since the age of 5 I have been anticipating the awakening. It's taking a lot longer than I expected. I've been doing everything I know to do. I feel like a virus in a system, and the system is not. The system's just trying to clear the virus. The system's just like this. Like I don't belong, and like I definitely need to shake that program. Like that's malware running. Like that's how I frame that, is like no, like if I'm an anomaly in the system, then I'm an evolution, and I need to switch that like magnet thing going on, where like whoa, to be positive, and for my influence, for my intention, my willpower, to be my willpower to be like fucking godlike, just absolutely godlike. Like and man, does it feel good to feel godlike. Totally understand why people do meth, certainly. Um and or, like why people have, like control issues and power, and like subscribe to the paradigm of power and control, and get caught up in that. I was caught up in that. I was aware of it. It's like I'm feeding on negativity, and that's feeding something that's feeding on me. I'm part of a network, and then I stopped being part of that network, and it's like, well, you can't be here now. Like that was, I don't know, like some. I mean, I did it to gain a degree of protection, but I don't know if it's helpful or hurtful, the way that I think about things. But like, to be that person, and then also to wake up and be like, oh, I'm just journaling a dream that I had, just writing the facts of what I just experienced. Like, I don't know why, but like there's that. And then reflecting on my day and feeling like I'm stuck in a loop. Like I felt like I was going somewhere, okay? And so why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Cuz like this is for myself, and and then it's selflessly, like unabashedly, shamelessly, like humbly, on the off chance that anyone else could benefit from anything I'm saying. Like, I never fucking know. Never fucking know what fucking out there thing. What thing like I'm just talking. And it'll connect to someone, and it'll be like blinders fall away, chains fall off of them. Like, it's like they are freed from something. They are enlivened, aware. They are emboldened, inspired. Like, I don't know what I might say that is going to be a seed of healing and love, and like self-love, and understanding and acceptance and peace for someone else. So like I could absolutely hit private, and this just be me talking to myself. And the only reason that I'm not just talking to myself, like I'm not presentable. I looked really cute yesterday. Didn't sit in front of a camera yesterday, did it? I have some like snaps of the outfit. Like it was great. It was very like fall, like had Halloween leggings, like um but now I have not done anything except get my hair out of my face to wash it and put oil on it to massage so that I don't have pressure and pain. Um like I gotta work that lymph track. I have to work that lymph track like a mofo, like seriously. And so that's why I'm all oily and my hair is disheveled and I'm just wearing what I slept in and like I don't I don't want to be on camera. like um it's not for attention. And I also like I pretty much assume that no one is going to pay attention because I'm not succinct and because we are so now entrained to the like just deliver the information. Like I don't need to know who you are or like entertain me. That's what we're, you know, we've moved so far from the World Wide Web being a tool of connection to it being just entertainment, distraction, and yeah. So you have to like mine potential nuggets of wisdom out of me just like rambling and trying not to fucking fall apart. Um, and it's weird because like I say that and it's like, okay, well there's been plenty of times that I've been like, all right, I'm not falling apart. Like I was in the bathroom and I was like, oh my god, like I just want to like enter a room and not fucking scan my surroundings for insects. Like will I ever? I don't think so. I think with the trauma I have endured at this point, I am always gonna be just like looking for fucking bugs. And so like the whiter and cleaner and more bare the room is, like the more comfortable I am. Like it's kind of like how that works out. Like lighter clothes, lighter textiles. And I say that 3 days ago. I think it was 3 days ago. I uh I was just starting to come out of the pain woods. I was just feeling a little bit better. I was up out of the bed. I was like just wanting to like remake my bed, like get everything like comfy, fluff my pillows or whatever. And and I had done that and I just like kind of flopped down and I wasn't like in a place that I could like actually like sit for any extended period of time. Like I was kind of like half on the edge of my foam. I sleep on fucking upholstery foam. It's not a bed at all. So like and on my leg in a way that like I couldn't have sat there for, more than a minute before it would have been like problematic circulation and shit. And and I'm just like, huh, I did a thing. And I I have in my line of sight Chosen. Chosen is a Build-A-Bear bear that is the Matrix Build-A-Bear bear. He's face down and a big white spider crawls across the blackest surface on my bed. My Matrix bear Chosen at just that moment. And I honestly don't even know why on earth I would have a roll of packing tape next to my bed. But just like, no worries, no problem. This is fortuitous. Pick up the packing tape, stretch it out, put it over the white spider, like fold the tape, pinch it, and it's like, there, that's done. Completely dealt with. That is That was the whitest spider I've ever seen. That was a big ass white spider. That was fucking wild. I mean, if it had been, it could have been on the wall forever. If it hadn't crawled across the back of Chosen, the black matrix bear, and in that moment, like it was just like, ah, like I could be scanning my surroundings for like dark spots, and there's bugs that are light. Like that's what a horrible thought that is. What a horrible awareness that is. Horrible, horrible. Yeah. Um. So I guess like I don't like bugs to begin with. I don't. I don't deal well with them. Fucking like it's a problem. Um. I get buggy. I get tweakery. I get tweakery just like naturally. Um. I the trauma I'm talking about is I was in this is gonna this is gonna sound like bullshit at this point. This chapter of my life is gonna sound like bullshit. But I was I was in I was in a like a group home thing that was like from being homeless and hospitalized to like getting back on your feet called Tap House. And Tap House was kind of like a trap house. Like squalor, like demeanor of people, like no one's really with it. Like you're not it was fucking weird. And for a spell, I was the only female in a tap house, like a multi-bedroom townhome. Um with men. And I was like, like 18, 19, looked 14, living in a house with just like full ass grown adult men. Like that there's the system for you. That's a good idea. Oh, yeah, let's do that. Put Mindy there. Like and this is where like shit comes in where like there are there are not one but several situations in which I have been like, you know what? I will be homeless. I'd rather just be on the street. You don't sleep much, a lot of walking, but I think, let's just remove all the fucking variables of insane drug addicted people, and that's better, Like, I don't think homelessness is the worst thing. I don't think it's the worst experience. And I swear, and I don't, um, I don't know how this checks against other people's experience, but like being homeless it's the most free you will ever feel in 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 a capitalist corporate America that is just freedom. But anyway, so Tap House, which is called Tap House, and back then we didn't really call trap houses. Like it was a crack house. You could be a crack house. I didn't. Trap house is not a term that I was ever aware of back in 2001. But yeah, temporary adult placement tap house, and it had like the worst silverfish problem. Like it did me in. It did me in. Just you can only be covered in silverfish a few times before like that trauma is just like that's there. and the sight of a silverfish is just like, I cannot, cannot with that. No, 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 no. Um, and then many years later, many years later, I lived in Antioch Woods, which you know, horrible, 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 horrible apartment complex. Um, the wall of my bathroom was like a bubble, like it it bubbled out like this much from like where a flat wall should be, and that's not even an exaggeration. And you could like just like press your like handprint into it. It was just a fucking sponge. Like all they did was just paint layers over black mold. Um just layers and layers of white fucking shiny paint over black mold, and it was crazy, crazy. Um, it was just infested with cockroaches. I mean, like, there would be a stampede whenever someone moved in and out, like out and in of the building. Um, and it'd just be like just stand at the front door and just watch like 50 fucking cockroaches just run right under the door. They're like, well, we gotta go somewhere. And and they came out of the vents, and yeah, like, I mean, when I say like infested with cockroaches, I mean, I used to just like count, just like for it got to be fun. It got to be fun. It was like, you know what? Life fucking sucks. I'm stressed out and in pain. This is like, I will appreciate this as an opportunity to be a hunter and kill things, and yeah. But like every every time you walked into a room, there were like six visible. And if you like actually looked around, like, you know, like in plain sight, plenty of them. And if you like looked closer, there's even more. And like so many more that you don't see. Um, it was like, yeah, fucking cockroaches. And so like I would just be, you know, like killing roaches like all the time, and like kind of, you know, made a game of it. Like thwap them with the back of a spoon. You can like stab them with a knife. Like that's like the most like satisfying, really, because it's, you know, it's a butterfly, a monarch butterfly. You know, that's good aim. That takes skill, precision. You know, it was an opportunity to like work on my dexterity, like my hunting skills, like sharpness, awareness, like whatever. Like muscle reaction time, hand-eye coordination, all that. Like I made the best of it, but it was a fucking nightmare. Fucking nightmare. And so that's one of the reasons that like it is just deeply embedded in me. I lived there for a few years. 2 years maybe. And I like, you know, scan my environment for anything, and like just have like this like deeply embedded, like, it's not paranoia. It's not because there's been like imaginary bugs all my life, like, you know. And then the last place that I lived, the Santa Fe Towers, um, high rise of elderly people, mostly elderly people, exclusively elderly disabled people, um, absolutely infested with bed bugs. And being infested with bed bugs, I was like, I will happily take back cockroach infestation. I will happily take that back. I will 100,000 fucking percent live infested again with roaches. Bed bugs are the worst. Bed bugs don't let you sleep. So there were like months that that I slept like an hour every couple of days. If I was lucky enough that it was that long before one bit me while I was sleeping, because the bite, like, wakes me up. My body has such a severe reaction, allergic reaction to bed bugs. Like, some people don't have a reaction to them at all. I feel like I look at that and it's like that's because they eat garbage, they are garbage, and they are at the same resonance of the insect, and it's not an invader, it's not anything foreign to their system. They are fucking garbage. They are fucking extermination candidate themselves, and fucking like fuck them. Like there were so many times that I was just this close to just fucking stuffing fuel soaked rags under the doors where I knew that it was a hoarder, fucking derelict, fucking person that just should not be there, should not be allowed to live like that, and like putting them out of their fucking misery. Like they're covered in bites, but they don't feel it doesn't even wake them up. But the other thing that you gotta keep in mind is that a lot of old people and disabled people are on medication that fucking puts them to sleep, right? So it's like, oh man, like they're a victim of the psychiatric industry. They're a victim of the medical industry, and I'm still just like, oh my god, about to burn the fucking building down. Like, no joke. Bed bugs are absolutely maddening. So, you know, like in the in the balancing act where I'm like, ugh, I'm always like are there any bugs? You know, it's just like brushing my teeth, just like, oh, is that a bug? Is that a bug? That's one I killed the other day. There's roaches here. There's roaches here. There's roaches everywhere, right? And it's like, ugh, like fucking bugs. And then I've got to be like, no wait, remember bed bugs? Remember what a fucking nightmare bed bugs was? Remember how you like almost became a serial killer because of bed bugs? Like remember how you almost became like a fucking like on the news arsonist because of bed bugs? Like roaches are okay. Roaches are okay. And so then it's like I see a roach and it's like I'm like, oh look at this like a little crumbly. That's totally fine. It's just so easy to kill. That ain't no thing, you know. But like I've gotta have that comparative experience, like, and you know this is a very quick like process. It's not like you know like a 5 minute thing. Like it takes me like so much, like fucking so long to like explain it, and no time at all for me to process it. It's just like and moving on with life, you know. But yeah, the really fucking crazy things, like the closest that I ever got, where I was just like, the closest I ever got to becoming an arsonist to deal with the bed bugs at the apartment building that I lived in. It was like, it was so not much time after I did not do that that somebody in my county was on the news because they did do that. And it was like, oh wow. So like I'm not the woman that had a shitty slum apartment that was infested and couldn't take it anymore and like accidentally burned down more than just her apartment. Like I'm not the one that did that. But like that happened. It was like 3 days later maybe. That was all over the news, And it was just like, shit, man. That's crazy. And it like it's it's things like that that like really makes me like, like laugh at horrible news like that. Like people died in a fire, and if you're me and you know that like you just about fucking became an arson murderer like yourself, and by the grace of God, like you kept some semblance of leash on yourself, and like I don't remember like how I dealt with that. I don't remember what I did. I know I had to go like undo things. Um but it was like, yeah, it was like fuck, like I almost snapped out. I almost snapped out, but I did it. And so like if you're just like there when I have the reaction to news where it's just like, that's awesome. That's so fucking awesome. Like, are you fucking serious? Like, that is fucking, yeah, man. That is so fucking awesome. And just like laughing hysterically. And I'm like so gleeful about like suffering and bad news. Like there's a whole thought process that like I'm not simply deranged, like I don't just delight in people's suffering. It's like I was just gonna do that, like I almost did that the other day. Like that was almost me. I was like, we were almost like you were almost just like fucking watching me, like shit. uh, and that's happened a lot of times, like fucking. I don't go shoot up a mall, but somebody does a couple days later. Whatever. And yeah, so there's a lot of reasons that I come off as like really unstable and deranged and everything. And like my thought processes, like they take so long to explain, like no time at all to happen. Yeah, like thoughts are kind of timeless like that, but it's like, how can we have like too many thoughts at once? Like, I don't know. Uh, so September 24th, 2024, Tuesday, 6 in stone. Searching for ecstasy in an apartment with brother and sister who had a lot of white pressed pills and testers. We who crossed that lot and entered these strangers' home needed it for an important reason. Black and white gremlin in a bin or barrel on the back of a truck. And I was saying that before, when I saw this, I only paid attention to that element, the gremlin in the barrel, and forgot the rest of it. Like there were other things. There were other barrels. There were like at least 3 other barrels that, and like so much, and I meant so much more. Like, did not even realize what that scene was about because I was only focused on like the recognizable like gremlin thing. Um, like a movie. Like a movie I saw as a kid and was watching as an adult. I see or saw so much more. The truck, the smell of urine from the woman, also black like the two in the apartment that we just approached. She was scared sitting up front. I don't know why she was scared. That truck, like a moving truck, was all over the road, and a black cover was launched at us but didn't settle. What was frightening? That 6. It's a 6 in stone. I don't know if you can see the. It was like an archway, like a man-made stone structure, and a 6 carved into it in relief, and it was so cracked. It was so cracked, and it was like panning like up, like you didn't go through the archway. Looking at the archway, go over it, and yeah, and then just this series of like still art, like watercolor, colored pencil, like concept art style pages, that was very like California vibe, blue teal, ornate roofing, stone buildings. So blue and gold. Like those series of just stills are so blue and gold. And it was like a city crumbling, like a dynasty after an apocalypse that was so fresh the paint hadn't faded. In a rock face of just lumpy texture, like the face of a rock, I thought I saw an actual face, like it could be an actual face, like it had been a statue but eroded. Um, when we came to that cement lot in the dark in the city, the group of four maybe, I recognized it. I recognized the lot from other dreams. Other dreams were like almost remembered, but in them, in the future, there were no longer residents. The two, first, just the high seeming woman assumed we were new tenants, and she just left her door open as if to say, "Come in." Um, and we were looking for a pill, ecstasy. We were looking for an ecstasy pill, a certain pill in this cluttery, dirty, littered apartment. And there were just pressed white pills like all over the place and stashed in all places. And yeah, under the bed or sofa, I could crawl under it. I was crawling under something, but the floor was sloping down underneath whatever I was crawling under. So it was like as I crawled, it became more open because the floor sloped down and the ceiling, like, it opened up into another area of the unit. Under that crawl space, I don't know, wherever I was crawling, there was an orange kitten in a cage on the left. Very tiny little orange, light colored kitten. Doesn't look like any cat I've ever known. No connection to it whatsoever. It was like a hamster's cage. And then there were hamsters, a couple of them, two at least, in really small balls. Like the hamster balls that you get for dwarf hamsters, but there weren't dwarf hamsters in them. There were like teddy bear hamsters in them. Just rolling around, the rattling of their poop and the balls, and and then there was a larger like enclosure, but not exactly a cage, because there were two guinea pigs, and one like did some burrowing, like just like kind of dug frantically for a moment, like as I approached, and it popped out and it squeezed through some bars that were to the right, and it's like a whole nother scene was to the right of me though. Like I don't know what, like that guinea pig, that thing, it was like in a whole nother realm. Um, but none of the animals seemed well cared for, and that wasn't my concern. It was like an observation. Like I'm not there to care about animals. Like I don't have any attachment or any feelings about that at all. Um, the my focus was finding that pill. When I came out in the space that I'd crawled under, um, I could see the brother of the woman that had let us in, sitting there like next to like a car trunk that was open, and there's a bunch of junk in there and like pills scattered all around, and more of the test kits that I'll describe later. Um, he was like half transformed. Like he was this just like, like junky like person, like like fiending high, like not with it at all. And 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 here, as I saw him sitting there was like a disturbance in the atmosphere, like around his face, like around his head, almost like glue or something. And I can't answer it on